So what next? Divestment. Never has there been a time when fossil fuel investments have looked so much like a bad idea. Number 1. Fossil fuel investments are at risk. For many years, the fossil fuel industry has been subsidized enormously. Just in 2013, the subsidies were, according to the International Energy Agency, at $548 billion US.
Right now, the only reason we're on that path to burn up all the fossil fuels is that we're subsidizing them.
The true cost of recovering and burning coal, oil and gas has always been pushed into the future. This future has finally come. Governments are faced with a growing number of concerned citizens and are forced to impose greater legislation and taxes on the fossil fuel industries. With carbon taxes looking more certain, the so-called carbon bubble is fast becoming a reality. Number 2. Divestment overall makes economic sense for society. The Stern Review on the Economics of Climate Change is a 700-page report released for the British government in 2006 by economist Nicholas Stern. Stern's main conclusion is that the benefits of strong, early action on climate change far outweigh the costs of not acting. Without action, the overall costs of climate change will be equivalent to losing at least 5% and up to 20% of GDP every year. Point 3. Divestment leads to social justice. Some developing countries responsible for the lowest greenhouse gas emissions are among the worst affected by extreme climate-related impacts. This will lead to the number of climate refugees increasing by 200 million by 2050. Add to this that future generations will be faced with the reality of climate-related impacts that are not of their own making.
Developing countries historically have very low greenhouse gas emissions, but are most affected by climate change. This will lead to an increased number of climate refugees. And future generations will also be faced with very serious consequences due to global warming. Climate change is unjust geographically and intergenerationally, and divestment plays an important role to change this.
Point 4. Divestment is ecologically essential. Climate scientists agree, in order to avoid catastrophic effects of global warming, the global greenhouse gas emissions need to be reduced drastically. If we act now to divest from businesses associated with the mining and burning of fossil fuels, we can meet the challenge of a global transition to a cleaner and sustainable future.